found the Laid Off Lads podcast, where three average guys from Central Florida discuss anything but average topics and have all the time to do it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Laid Off Lads podcast. As always, we got with us on the line Mr. Christopher Boyce and Mr. Phil Ngari. Welcome, gents.
So glad to be here. It's been a while.
Yeah, we kind of took a week's sabbatical, so we apologize, but we are back.
Get our heads screwed on right.
Yeah, well, we had our Sweet 16, that we did, and we celebrated a little bit too much on that Sweet 16, and now we're back for 17, and we're continuing to chug along.
Beer. One more pot and we'll be legal.
Well, for certain things.
There you go.
Yeah, one more pod so we can buy cigarettes, or do people even buy that anymore, or is it all vape?
It's all vape. It's all vape.
Yeah,
I don't know a single teenager now that smokes cigarettes. Everything's now vape.
True.
Are they banning menthols? I heard that
cigarettes?
they were getting rid of menthol cigarettes. They're banning them.
About time.
Suddenly Pine Hills is going to riot.
I could no. I don't know. Did you guys ever were you guys ever a big cigarette some smoker? Did you smoke in high school or anything like that?
I smoked from 19 until I was 30.
Like packs a day?
Seriously?
2 pack a day. Yeah.
2 pack a day?
Yeah.
2 packs a day?
Two at the peak. But
good God.
Maybe about 1 a day.
Dude, I've been smoking cigars since I was 18, but that's it. That's maybe once every 2 weeks or once a week, and you don't, inhale with that. If you inhale with that, you're gonna be sicker than a dog. Then I had a couple cigarettes with beers and
everybody smoked
high school, college, whatever. But I've never even got. I probably my entire life have maybe smoked a pack, in my entire life combined, maybe a pack. And you're telling me you did 2 packs a day or a week?
Everybody smoked back then, man. Back in the 90s, everybody.
Did you even work? When do you find time to work when you're smoking 2 packs a day?
Well, we're out at the bars afterwards till 2 a.m, and so you're sleeping 4 hours a night. But my buddy, one time for my birthday, he was my roommate at the time. We were both smokers. He bought me a plant. It was like a small tree, so it was about probably 3.5 to 4 feet tall, 3 or 4 feet wide. And so he took a carton of cigarettes and he tied them with, I don't know, paper clips or some sort of something, and he tied them to the entire tree, so it was a smoke tree. And so he put it on our front porch at the place that we lived, and he'd be like, "Hey, you want to go smoke? Yeah, let's go to the smoke tree." And we just pluck a cigarette off the tree and smoke. Smoke tree. It was the greatest gift I ever got. The most creative gift I ever got was a smoke tree.
That is lazy and awesome and terrible for you all at the same time.
It's not lazy at all. He had to tie each of those things individually.
What state do you think has the if they do ban menthols, which state is going to feel the impact of that most? Which state, per capita, probably smokes the cigarettes the most?
I think
anywhere
right.
in the South, West Virginia.
Alabama's where you both went Alabama that quick. Why Alabama?
And you talking cigarettes overall, or are you just talking about menthols? Because menthols. There's a key demographic for menthols. Black folks smoke menthols. I'll just say it because it's not a huge secret, but they're popular with the African American community. Menthols.
Why?
I have no idea. I've always wondered that myself. Newports.
Newports? I feel like I always see old white ladies smoking Newports. Or is that Slims?
I don't know.
Well, what's the other one?
I don't think I've ever seen a white person smoke a Newport.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to.
I feel like I definitely feel
just go interview someone at a gas station. You'll really get the true demographic of what.
We're gonna go down the street to the 7-Eleven and talk to the clerk and figure out what's their best seller in the 18 and above smoking section.
That's back in the day. We could smoke in restaurants. You go to Denny's, and you'd have smoking sections and non-smoking section. We all go out drinking and go to Denny's at 3 a.m, sit in the smoking section, coffee and cigarettes. It was great. I dream about it all the time. I quit when I was 30, but I dream about it constantly. In my dreams, I'm lighting up a cigarette and smoking. It's bizarre.
Interesting. I've tried one cigarette in my entire life, and it was when I was pissed drunk. And I remember it specifically. I was like, I've never smoked a cigarette before. And I think my cousin at the time, he's like, you want to try one? And I was like, sure. So lit it up, took one puff, and I said, nope, no thank you. And that was the only time that I had put a cigarette in my mouth, and that's it.
I smoked weed a lot beforehand, so my lungs were sort of adapted to the smoke. So once I had a cigarette, it was like, all right, my lungs are like, been there, done that. But yeah, once I hit 30, I'm like, I'm done. I can't keep this up.
Yeah, cigars are something different. Cigars are way different than cigarettes.
Yeah, 100%.
And I mean, we smoke cigars at poker night, and
Yeah, you're not inhaling it.
correct.
Over time, your face will take the brunt of that, but
No, that's
Makes your face rounder.
Lips in your gums.
something's happening here. We got to figure this out.
I don't know, but you're right. Now that you brought it up, I'm like, what's going on?
With what?
Your face.
you.
My face? What is wrong with my face?
I don't
Something's
know,
different
man.
about it. I can't figure it out.
It's not that you just shave, because I know what you look like.
I shave, but
I don't know. It could just be a different camera angle. That might be
the
it.
sun's coming in, or like where I'm now potting. The sun comes in from my right hand side, so like not sun, but the light from the sun comes in from that side. So maybe it's just glistening off my right side of my face more so than my left, and it gives it a odd look.
Could be it, but it's not.
He making him
Anyway.
self-conscious now. He's just gonna
Whatever.
go back on this video and just keep scrolling through.
Why the hell is my face? What the hell's going on here?
Did you guys
Boys,
get hit by
did
that gas attack? Not
The gas attack? Wow,
Yeah,
it
the
makes it
gas
sound like
attack.
the Chinese
Nah.
like gas attacked us or something.
Pipeline. Could have been the Chinese.
No, they said it was the Russians.
Of
they?
course it's the Russians.
Yeah, they came out and said it was the Russians.
was it?
They hacked a gas line?
Yeah,
It was a hacker group. A group that
Yeah,
they're aware of. A
but
group
it's
that
not
had
a
a
Russian.
site.
It was
Okay.
a Russian.
Oh, it's a
Russian
Russian
based.
hacker group.
Yes.
But Colonial Pipeline, because they installed ransomware into their systems. So it
Yeah.
basically locks it up, and they say, hey, you pay the ransom and we'll unlock your system for you. So Colonial Pipeline ended up paying the $4.4 million ransom to this hacker group.
I thought it was
unlock
12. I thought it was 12 million.
I read 4.4.
They paid it? They actually paid.
Yeah, the government was pissed off because the government has a policy of not
Correct.
paying ransoms.
Yeah.
But
you're
apparently,
right,
from what I
4.4.
read, a lot of these corporations just say, "F- it. It's not worth playing this game of, hey, we're not going to pay it. We're just going to pay it and carry on with our lives. So they do it.
But once again, that kind of sets the precedent to every hacking group out there of, okay, cool. If I just get into the system, put it
Yep.
in there, they're going to pay it. I mean, it's the same thing with terrorism. And that's why like the United States has a no bull policy for terrorism. You with us, we're going to go blow your damn country up.
I don't think that's the exact terminology, but
It says
We'll
that,
go with
yes.
it. That's
Yeah.
fine.
No,
It
in
just says it a
writing,
little bit more
says that.
formally.
Yeah.
No. Just don't vote for me for president, because I'll put some choice language in there.
Did you see all those videos, though, of the people filling up gas tanks with giant Tupperware containers and
People are
plastic
idiots,
cups?
dude.
And it's
People are
insane, man.
idiots. I thought we didn't get our gas from that
We don't.
particular company side of the world. So so
It's the same thing with the toilet paper scandal of COVID. Like
well, but you know how that started though?
a tweet.
A tweet by was it
Elon.
not Johnson and Johnson was who's the other Charmin or one of those groups whoever's the biggest supplier of
TP?
toilet paper. What?
Yeah.
Big paper. It's like
No.
big tech, big pharma.
No.
Big
It's
toilet.
it's an actual like Johnson and Johnson or Charmin or one of those companies just sent out a tweet saying, "Hey, we're having a little bit of issue getting supplies in from China due to the pandemic." This is really early on. Well, the world panicked, thinking, "Well, they can't get supplies in. They're the leader in toilet paper, like making toilet paper to send out to the world. They account for like, I don't know, like 70% of the market share here in the U.S. They're going to run out of toilet paper. We have to go buy it." They later backtracked on that tweet and said, no, we're fine. It's just back of house issues that we're having to deal with, but the production that's going to the States is fine. Just one for freaking tweet sends the world in shambles now.
Yeah.
Not the world, the United States.
Not
Not the world, the United States. And I feel like this is just little tests to show how much control like social media can have over people. because it's absolutely right. One freaking tweet. It's ridiculous, man. Like I filled up gas once just to make sure. Okay, cool. I have a full tank of gas. They said, hey, don't worry about it. The governor came out and said, hey, don't worry about it. But no, people still freak the out. Just, man.
I didn't have any
loaded up
trouble,
on
like getting gas though. I had to wait a little while longer, but there wasn't like a shortage on it anywhere.
It's because there was a shortage.
It's because we didn't get our gas from there. Everything was fine.
I loaded up on Metamucil during the pandemic because in the event of a toilet paper shortage, you take enough Metamucil will just, boom, flush your stuff through you. You don't need a lot of wipes after Metamucil. I'm just going to tell you that.
You're an old man. Jesus.
It's clean. It's great. You got to try it, man. I got my brother on it. He said, this is awesome.
What are you and your bro? All right, so what
Why
do you
get a bidet? Like,
what do you and your brother do half the time when you send pictures of sexy men to each other and share Metamucil tips to help?
What do you mean? We're
How
best
did
friends.
you not get flagged from the company?
I don't know. It's a miracle. No clue.
God almighty.
Use your work phone to send.
You are one of a kind, boys. I'll tell you that much.
I will say this.
You want to talk about self-incrimination again?
Oh, here we go.
The self-incrimination segment. I got a notification from the Department of Employment for Florida, since I'm still collecting unemployment. Cha-ching. And they told me that I had been overpaid for X amount of months. So I'm like, what? So I had no idea I've been overpaid. So I look at this graph of they listed all the dates that I was overpaid. And it said I was overpaid $275 for each occurrence. There were 37 occurrences of being paid $275 more than I should.
So how much does that add up to?
275 times 32. Oops. 275 times, what the f? Why is my thing freezing up?
You're like 7,000?
Great podcast.
8,800.
Woo!
So,
You
so
gotta
there's
write
an
a check
appeal
Uncle Sam.
form. There's an appeal form that says, hey, were you aware of the overage and all this other shit? So I submitted that saying, dude, I had no clue
You continue to pay me, so
that you were
You're going to have an
overpaying.
agent. You're going to have an agent show up to your door with a copy. They're just going to pull out an iPad. He's going to push play, and it's going to be a recording of this. And he's like, "You were aware. I need a check right now."
I wasn't aware.
all of the
That's the
other
thing. Once I got that notification from them, I'm like, what the f? But
Dude, well,
I was
for
not
me,
aware of that.
10
You know how
years
I
ago,
was
boys,
locked
you
out?
went to a third world country and helped to smuggle drugs in through your
That's
backpack.
true.
To help.
I did.
That is very true.
That's very true.
They're going to get you on all.
But for me, I was locked out of my unemployment account for months because of suspected
yeah.
fraud. I mean, here
Really?
you are collecting. Yeah, I couldn't get any money from unemployment, from state or federal, anything, because I guess I didn't submit my paperwork fully, or I didn't check one damn box, something like that. But I finally got it unlocked back in March, but then they wouldn't open up or like back pay me for all of those weeks that I was missing. They weren't paying me. So finally, last week? I think it was around last week, I finally talked to an agent. She was like, oh yeah, click. Here you go. Here's all the weeks that you need. And it came out to be like 18 weeks of pay
Nice.
that I had not been receiving yet. So now I'm just going through the process and getting all
I'm
this
still
money
able to
in.
collect through the end of August, but I'm a little nervous now because I don't want to be put in a situation. I mean, hopefully I'm doing this the right way. I don't know.
You owe the government $8,000 and you're still able to collect?
Yeah, they said while this is being investigated, be sure to
We're still going to pay
continue
you so that you can
Yeah.
pay it all back at some point. It makes no
Bizarre.
sense.
Even if you have a job, you can still collect unemployment if you're not making what you were making prior to, correct?
I don't know. The only thing I Google is,
that's
can you
terrible.
collect unemployment while receiving capital gains from tax sales? And the resounding answer was yes, because it's not a work.
Yeah, because you're not like filing a W-2 and all that, right?
Yeah.
Would assume. Huh.
We'll see.
At least we're not South Carolina.
Yeah.
What's
Talk
going
about
on
getting
with them?
put in jail. They approved the firing squad as a method of execution.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, but that's
That's where they and that's
going backwards in time now.
Well, that's because of the what's the where you get the drugs injected? Lethal injection. Lethal
Yeah.
injection. I think that from what they said, the companies that make these drugs don't want to be tied to killing people. So they're making it harder and harder to get. So as these drugs are harder to get, states that have legal or where execution is legal, they're looking for alternative methods to do it. So they're going back to the old school. Hey, let's shoot him in the heart.
So does Smith and Weston like to be associated with that? Like, hey,
I mean, it's a
our
gun
firing squad
company.
guns are provided by.
Maybe that's why there's a gas shortage. Just inject them with that.
Something, man.
I'd
But I
light a
read up on
match.
that. I'm like, how do they do it? So they get like 3 or 4 guys all pointed at the guy's heart, and only one guy has an actual bullet.
The rest have blanks, right?
Wait, whoa,
Yeah.
what?
The rest have blanks, yes. So there's 3 guys that have blanks in their gun, and then 1 guy that has an actual bullet, and they all pull the trigger at the same time. So obviously, the person who shot him isn't like left with that type of guilt of I just killed someone. They won't know who killed him, which I'm pretty sure that's bull. Because if you see the
you're gonna figure it
trajectory,
out. You're gonna figure it
Like-
out when the gun. I don't know.
Well, that was an issue. Recoil. Blanks have a lack of recoil. So what they do is they use some sort of plastic projectile that makes the recoil very, very close to what an actual bullet would be, because the blanks weren't giving that recoil, and these guys knew as soon as they shot whether it was
yeah,
a legit bullet or not.
So wait, so it's approved for use now,
Yeah,
or is it going through its stages?
It's in a couple states. Utah
Oh,
is
is it
another
still?
state where it's approved. They executed somebody by firing squad, I think, sometime in the past 10 years. But it's not common at all. But it got me thinking, I'm like, how quickly does a shot to the heart kill you?
And if you miss,
Yeah.
you're to
in
blame.
some pain.
I mean, your brain's still got to be working for a couple seconds at least. I mean, your heart's going to flat out explode. It's a rifle. So it goes through you. It's
All
like,
right.
bam.
So what? So how would you want to be executed? Firing squad, hanged, the chair, or injection?
No, I'm going off topic there. I'm going straight medieval times. Just give me the guillotine.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Give me the guillotine. They had some weird ways of torturing people. You remember they had like the
No, because
tie the ropes to your limbs
Yeah,
and
oh,
like
yeah,
horses
no, no.
going every
Because-
direction.
because
Fuck.
I get nervous. You know one of those rides at like water parks where you have to stand and then the floor goes out below you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't know when that's happening. I don't want my neck under a blade and not like that's completely different
I mean,
feeling of
regardless,
not.
if you're up for execution, you know I'm gonna die. Whether it be
I'll take
lethal
injection.
injection, a
I'll
shot,
take injection.
guillotine. You never know.
Because don't they like put you to sleep first, and once you're out, then it's just it's fine.
You get but there you get to have a last meal. Like
Where?
lethal injection. You get to have like a last meal, like whatever you want. So you can get like
Even
a
better.
lobster dinner.
Beautiful.
What
Perfect.
would
That's
your
fine.
last meal be? There's a good question. What would be your last meal?
Sloppy tacos. No.
Sloppy top.
STP?
STP sloppy tacos.
Whatever's going to make me the most vile stuff once I die.
STP sloppy tacos. Going right back to it.
You are
I don't know.
I thought about that. That's a tough one, man.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
would probably want to eat so much food that I want to die. Because you
Taco
got to be
Bell.
thinking, who has an appetite knowing they're about to die?
It's true. Yeah.
I would want a Wagyu steak.
Who's Wagyu?
Wagyu?
Japanese?
How is it?
It's like one of the most expensive steaks.
Yeah, a steak would be nice.
I'm not
I
a
don't
big
know.
steak person.
No?
No.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What are you a big food person of, boys?
I don't know.
Like
I
I could do
have no clue.
tacos for days.
I like seafood. I like pizza.
Phil can do
I love pizza.
pizza for days. Like, what's yours?
Pizza for days, man.
Yeah, that would be yours.
Yeah, if I could live off of one food for the rest of my life, pizza without a doubt. That's like a huge thing in our house. We're big pizza people. We don't eat it
Yeah.
often. We eat it once a week. Fridays are pizza night.
Oh, I love a good Friday. Yep, that was as kids. That would be the night that we would always
Yep.
get pizza. We had some good pizza last week. Phil and I from the Chicago style.
Oh, that's good.
It
Deep
was
dish.
this deep dish. Holy shit. It was like
Yeah.
That dish
thick.
was deep.
It was huge. It was good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's a different category though. It's like a cake and a
is.
pie. It's like it's both sort of birthday desserty type stuff, but it's different category. That deep dish is like bread.
like a hurricane
It's
category.
heavy.
Or tropic force. See that segue?
That was kind of a choppy segue there.
The category hurricanes? No? Category 1, 2s, 5s, 3s, 4s?
We also
Deep
didn't
dish
go.
pizza
Boys,
to-
what was your way to die?
No,
Never
it's-
said.
I would like to be shot in the head because whatever. I think the brain is.
No, the firing squad doesn't do that. We just talked about how a
Well, the
firing squad
reason
does.
they do the heart is because they don't want to disfigure you in case you have an open casket. But I don't want an open casket. Shoot me in the head. The brain, I believe, is the
I
most
don't
critical
think you
part.
choose, right? Like you don't fill out a
know.
a doctor's thing. It says, where would you like to be shot today? And let me check the head on the printed body that's there. No, you don't have that option.
I'd probably go hanging because I think
Hanging.
that's probably been proven as one of
What
the
if your
more.
neck doesn't snap?
God, you got to put me up high. Like I need to rip it off because I think the brain is the key part. I think I don't know what the hell electrocution. I've been electrocuted twice in my life.
That says a
And-
lot.
Yeah, it wasn't a great feeling. So with electrocution, it's not instant because there's a lot of instances where it's like it takes a while for you to die.
Yeah. Same with
And
hanging.
lethal injection has enough horrible, horrific instances where people have just gone out in a bad way, which I mean, they deserve it. But yeah, I think hanging has been the tried and true tested method because it disconnects your brain cord. The brain's got to go. I don't want my heart to be shot because I
Yeah,
still
but if
think
your
the
neck
brain
doesn't
is.
snap, then what? That's been
There's the
recorded.
science
That's
behind
been
that.
Recorded. Yeah, that's been
It's
recorded too.
physics.
People can.
But that's why the guillotine just takes care of everything for you. It separates
That'd be
your head
hard.
from your
Yeah.
body. Bada bing, bada boom. You're
No,
fine.
no, because I get that one dude that didn't sharpen the blade and it would like bounce off of my spine and then bounce up. Now I'm like bleeding from the neck, and they're trying to do it over and over again. Now they're just severing it, and like it would not go well for me. I know
No,
that.
because I'm sure if that happened, it bounced back up. Then they'd call you a prophet. They'd say he's the chosen one. And then
Meanwhile, I have half a neck gone. Somebody give me a beer.
But the guillotine isn't an improved method, so that's off the table. Otherwise, I'd go for that. Whatever kills your brain the quickest, because the brain that controls everything.
do we look at approved methods?
Do you know what I was reading when I was looking up how the whole firing squad works? Stoning. That is still a legal method of death in like
Is
8 to 10 countries.
Don't want to go that way. That
And
seems
there's like
miserable.
rules for it too, because the Dubai, the United Arab Emirates,
Mhm.
it's legal there for certain instances like infidelity and all sorts of crazy shit, murder. But there's rules for it where you can't chuck stones at people that are big enough to knock them out. They got to be small enough to just like
the whole
slowly kill you by blunt force trauma over a long period of time. It's insane.
Why?
Some cases they'll dig a hole and just put you up to your neck where it's and just chuck rocks at you until you're
At your
dead.
head?
Yeah,
My God.
it's brutal. It is brutal, and it's
I
still
would not want to
legal.
die that way.
okay. So here we go. I've got the methods of execution used around the world. So number one, we got lethal injection. That's the most popular one. It's carried out in China,
Probably the
Vietnam, and
most-
the USA.
Humane at this point.
Yes. Number two is electrocution.
Yeah.
That is only carried out in the United States.
the chair. That's
The
because we got
chair.
power. I mean, we got power. We got
We actually have
electricity.
electricity where most of these countries don't.
That's true. Let's send it
All
through
right.
'em. Go.
Number three, hanging. And this is probably one of the more popular ones in your in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Is execution by hanging. That's isn't that how they killed Saddam Hussein?
I believe so.
Hanging. Number four is shooting. So your typical firing
Fire.
squad.
Yeah.
Number five, and this is the last one, beheading. Your
Let's say
guillotine.
how.
The guillotine. No, I don't know if it's a guillotine style. I think they just take a sharp machete and just.
Yep.
And
In
not want to rely on
a
somebody's
historic
spoon.
form of
That's what I'm talking
execution,
about.
beheadings are carried out in public using a sword.
Oh,
Yep,
Nope.
I will take that first one. Lethal injection. Thank
The
you very
condemned,
much.
who is blindfolded, handcuffed, and often given a sedative, typically wears white. Interesting.
Oh, why white? So blood can be splattered everywhere.
I don't know. Maybe they sell it as an art piece after. Who knows?
Sponsored by this execution is sponsored by Tide with
Jack's
Bleach.
Pops.
Yeah.
Jack's
So they
Pops.
kill the guy and then they
Clorox
wash
execution.
the outfit afterwards. Look,
All right,
it's white
we're
again.
getting really morbid here. And then
let's
there's
move on to
also
our
the
topic.
execution of gas. So you can still be.
Oh yeah,
by
that seems
gas.
not very. That seems not very humane.
That's actually done in the U.S. Lethal gas.
Gas chamber is still legal? Does it say
US.
where?
Montana.
Texas.
Lethal injection, lethal gas is done in Arizona, Missouri, typical Missouri, and Wyoming.
That was
Wow.
close.
What kind
Firing
of gas
squad.
do they use? Does it say?
Ooh.
What if it was laughing gas? They like laughed you up at first, then somebody came in with a sword and chopped. Like you combined them.
That'd be great.
You're just laughing on. You just laughed your head off, and then poof, your head's gone.
So they restrain the inmate, and
Gassing's been done.
the chair is equipped with a metal container beneath the seat. Cyanide pellets are placed in the container.
I do not want to do cyanide.
Isn't that what they give astronauts though? Cyanide?
What?
I'm sure not a lethal.
Aren't those
amount,
like
though.
cyanide pills for like spies that don't want to be caught and
Yeah.
secure secrets? They bite on a cyanide pill, so they
They
die.
give them to astronauts too.
Why? In case they
Because
go out in space.
Yeah, in case
Yeah.
you're
in
stuck.
case you're abducted by an alien?
That's true.
Don't give them any information.
Don't let 'em
And
probe you.
actually, hanging is legal in the U.S. There are 3 states that still use hanging as
Montana,
a.
Wyoming, and South Dakota.
Texas,
All
Utah.
3 are wrong.
Damn. North
Voice,
Dakota.
you're wrong as well. No,
Really?
Wisconsin.
think of the Northeast.
Oh, that would make sense. That's where like Delaware,
Delaware, yes.
Rhode Island,
Not Rhode Island.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire's another one. And actually, the other one's on the complete opposite side of the country.
Oh,
Washington.
that would make sense.
It does from like your 1776 on.
Right. That's what they're most known for. Anyways, let's move on to our topic because that was went down a rabbit hole of morbid ideas. Kind of going on with the stealing of gas. Boys, did you find the names of this upcoming year's hurricane season?
Yes, I was going through the news, and there's a tropical depression off the coast. I don't know, Bermuda or something like that.
Love it. Surprise.
No huge threat, but it got me wondering. All right, hurricane season starts on June 1st, so I went up to look up the names of the hurricanes for this year, which I love doing because it's like a lot of times I get these crazy weird names. Last year I had a lot of weird names. So I'm looking at the list this year. I'm like, these are all like straight-laced, dull white people names.
Susie, James.
So I like to go through the list every year
Michael.
and think, all right, which one has the most promising catastrophic outlook? You go through the names, you're like, oh, that's got catastrophe category 5 written all over it.
What does it start off with?
So it goes through the alphabet like it does all the time, with the exception of some letters that are out, like X and things like that. Names are obviously struck from the record, retired, like retired jerseys. Whenever you have like a Katrina or one of your huge ones, they retire that number,
That makes sense, I guess.
put in the rafters.
Sad, but makes sense.
All right, so here's the list for this year. Anna, A-N-A. Yeah.
Okay.
Bill, good old Bill. Can you imagine a catastrophic hurricane? Bill.
Bill's gonna tear.
I don't think Bill.
To you.
No.
Claudette.
Who did you get hit by? I got hit by Bill today. What was it?
Claudette.
Claudette.
All the old lady or men names usually tear it up.
Claudette.
No, this one's
Harvey?
gonna you up. D, ready? Danny.
Yeah.
Old Danny boy.
Ooh.
The old right
Danny
hook.
is so simple, and you're right. It's so like a Caucasian name, but it's one that'll probably do damage somewhere. Like I don't know. You're right, boys. That's a sneaky one.
The Disney
sneaky.
fans representing E, Elsa.
Elsa sounds. Elsa sounds more like a nor'eastern snowstorm than it does a hurricane.
That's a good point. It does.
You're just tying that to Frozen.
Yeah.
Elsa's the one that
Am I
has
wrong?
like the snow with Frozen. Well, maybe Florida will see some snow for Elsa.
Maybe
There's a
Hurricane
fat chance.
Fred will devastate us all.
Fred. No.
All
So
right,
we have Fred, Danny, and Bill.
Bill. So right after Fred, we have Grace. Grace.
She
Our
died
blessing.
30 years ago.
I hope Grace levels us.
It's such a nice name.
Grace. The blessing.
The blessing.
All right, right after that is Henry, but with an I at the end. Henri.
Well, that one's devastating just because of that weird. Why would you
Yeah.
switch out the Y for an I? So
Pretentious
So I'm
French.
sure we've had a Henry before, so yeah. It's pronounced Henri.
Henri. Hurricane.
Henri.
Oh, I hope they do that. Like, I love it when they have Spanish names, like really Spanish names, and all the guys in the newscast have to like accent it.
all
Hurricane
of like the
Jose.
Kansas-born like white ass guys have to,
Yeah,
to say it.
Tony Manalfi.
Yeah.
Hurricane Ida is after that. IDA.
Ooh, see, I told you. The old women
Three-letter names. Yep.
Ida.
Three-letter names too. That's gonna be a category 3 just because of that right there.
We should
Yeah.
start taking notes. We should start taking bets right now.
Well, we
With
have
what
this
these-
recorded, so we can always just go back and just let's do it again.
After, let's do an Excel spreadsheet, and then we need to see what category or what level it's going to hit, whether it be a
Love it.
tropical depression.
Do it.
We'll do that.
God, we are some sick in Florida. If you have not figured it out by now, we get a lot of hurricanes.
Next is Hurricane Julian.
Nah.
Is it Julian or Julian?
You
It's
don't know
Julian.
until
No,
after.
if it's Julian.
Julian,
True.
is that even a name?
I don't know. I just made it up. It
Julian.
sounded like it sounded like it's a name.
All right,
You
wanna
got
talk
King
about
Julian.
you
King
wanna talk
Julian's the monkey.
Lights Off Missionaries is the next one. Kate.
Kate?
Kate?
Hurricane Kate.
Kate's almost like a Karen.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't go with Karen. I'm surprised they didn't do Karen
I
this
wouldn't
year.
say they've done
The
Karen
hype on
before.
Karen?
I want to say they've done Karen before. Kate is a tropical depression that like pitters off into like the Yucatan Peninsula. Like it's just kind of like Kate was
Yeah.
like, I'm here to play for a little bit. Oh no, I got blown away in the Gulf, and now I'm over here in the Yucatan.
And then the ghost of Kate's past comes behind it up.
Yep, that's true.
Right after Kate, we have Larry.
Larry.
Good old Larry. You know,
Larry.
Larry's going
might
to
be
stall
a-
over Puerto Rico.
Not
And then
again
just
for
spits
them.
it out.
I know. I would feel so bad for them if Larry just stood like right there. Oh no, man.
Are they choosing a bunch of white names just because of the given circumstance that this
That's true.
past couple of years have given?
This is the whitest year for names by far. So after
Yeah.
Larry, we have Mindy.
Yeah, Mindy's too sweet. No, Mindy, I don't.
Nicholas.
No, like Minnie's gonna go up the coast and just kind of stay off to the side and just kind of just go up there and just gonna mind her own business.
Tropical Depression.
I'll go category 1, but just kind of stays off coast.
Nicholas.
Ooh, I could see Nicholas.
Nicholas plays a factor in history a lot. That name.
Yeah.
Klaus.
Klaus. After Nicholas is Odette.
That's gonna
Hell is
up. That is
I don't
gonna
know.
Texas up right there.
O-D-T-T-E.
Guaranteed.
Odette.
Houston is right now. Odette is the one that's coming for Texas.
Odette. See, I want to know what's the name meaning of Odette?
The Gulf has been pounded more so in the past
yeah.
couple of years in the East Coast. Texas and Louisiana and
True, yeah.
So it's a French and Old German name meaning wealth.
Texas. Gone.
Odette.
all right.
Yeah.
After Odette. Meh, Peter. Peter.
Peter?
Yes. Peter.
That was a
Peter's
fair-
going to
the
be the
12
one that hits
apostles
Florida because Florida
associated
looks
with
like
the
a Peter.
hurricanes? Sounds like we've had all of like the 12 apostles so far.
That's true.
Or just your typical accountants at like a financial firm with Bill and Peter.
All right,
Dan.
Larry.
Here's the next one, Phil. Going back to the old lady names, Rose.
You know my history with Rose and Roses. That bitch is coming up. She is coming for you. She is anything but a rose.
Where at?
Oh, I think that's probably gonna be the one that hits Florida. I feel like that bitch is gonna just
Yep.
pull up some steam out in the Gulf and just come right on over. Wait till she hits a Category 5 Rose. That's the sleeping giant right there.
All right, next one, Hurricane Sam. Sam's gonna
see the look
come
on
toward
your
the
face,
coast, leave,
boys.
and then talk about you on the way back out in the ocean.
Sam's the one that's going to hit Cuba. Sam is one that's going to hit Cuba and then go out into the ocean.
Don't have a good history with Sam's.
You Sam's. All right. The mother of all hurricanes, Mother Teresa.
No way.
Teresa, not Mother Teresa, just
No,
Teresa.
no, no, no. I understand that, but that's an actual.
Teresa. Yeah.
Oh, that might be my like ace in the hole for the one that's going to be the most devastating out of them all. Because that,
Teresa?
if it's Teresa, you're probably expecting that in what, September, late August. Those are usually the worst.
All right, so
Like
My
the
Sleeping
Gulf is
Giants
nice, warm.
rose.
You get that. Oh, that's Teresa's.
Ferris
Teresa's
is
not gonna,
Teresa,
Teresa's my. Yep, I'll go with that one.
and that's a TH Teresa.
Ter.
Yep.
Oh, that's a TER. That's not even an
Yeah.
H.
Nope.
Ooh, I don't know,
Nope.
Ferris. I don't know. Name someone else that has a Teresa without an H in it.
You're telling me.
All right, next one, Hurricane Victor.
Oh, Victor.
Victor.
Victor's gonna do like a nice like dance somewhere in the Gulf or the Atlantic and play like it's gonna want to hit something, but be like, oh no, f you, and gone.
Backhand.
Yeah, just
No, thank you.
How about
Gone.
Hurricane Wanda, the last one?
Wanda.
Wanda.
Jamie Foxx character
last one.
that
Yeah.
he used to do with Wanda. Hey,
Shenanigans.
oh, Wanda's just gonna have fun. Like Wanda's really not gonna stuff up, but it's just gonna have fun. It's gonna give you little rain bands. It might get you off of work for a day, but then it's not really gonna do a whole lot.
Isn't
Wanda
Wanda
blow your
comedian?
weave out.
No, Wanda.
Wanda
Sykes.
Wanda
Wanda
Sykes.
Sykes.
Yeah, yeah.
She is funny. She is
Yeah.
funny, people.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't think Wanda's
Jamie
gonna do
Foxx
anything.
does a Wanda impression in his stand-ups from ages ago. Hysterical. Hysterical.
All right, so boys, I'm going with Rose. Ferris is going with Teresa. Boys,
I'm going
what you
Odette.
got is just Odette.
Odette.
Wealth. Boys is
Odette.
going Odette. All right.
And then they go to the Greek alphabet after that, which they always do.
Oh, is that what they do? Yeah. So
Yep.
they then switch back.
Last year, I think they went deeper into the Greek alphabet than ever in history.
I think you're right. It seemed like last hurricane season just carried on.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything too bad last year, but it was just
Which I'm surprised.
Everything seems to be hitting North Carolina-ish in the past couple of years. They're making their way up a little bit further north than us.
it depends.
then
It
the
feels like
Panhandle.
Florida's in for one this year. I mean, we haven't had one in a while. It's just when was the last one, like the bad one that we had?
Wasn't that Harvey?
No, I don't think so.
Michael,
No, it wasn't Michael.
Matthew. It was the one that whatever knocked down my
Matthew.
fence
I think it was
3 or
Matthew.
4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Matthew.
Blew the wooden fence out of my yard.
Yeah, I think it was
My
Matthew.
neighbor's yard.
Irma. Michael was in
Irma?
2018.
Maybe it was Irma. When was Irma?
Ida was 2020.
No, it
Remember
wasn't
Ida?
No.
I thought it was Matthew 3 or 4
Was it
years
either
ago.
Matthew or
Matthew was either the latest one. Oh, well, here we go. Orlando Sentinel. Hurricane Center ups Atlantic disturbances odds to a formation to 40% now.
Is that the one that's currently out there?
Yeah, I think so.
Ada? Or Anna? Anna.
Doesn't it start with numbers and then like a tropical depression number 4?
Yeah,
And then
that's
it
if it
goes-
never
turns into
reaches.
Gotcha. Okay. Turns into a hurricane. That's when it's actually, or a tropical depression.
Tropical.
Which one first?
I think it's tropical storm.
And then that's when it gets its name.
Depressions don't have names. Those are
And
just-
where did you get those names from?
I just
boys?
Google hurricane
just Google.
names. I think it's the
Weather Channel or something?
NOAA website.
Ah,
So it was Michael. Michael was in 2018.
Was it?
Wind speed 160 miles an hour.
did it come through Central Florida?
I think so.
I thought it was Matthew, boys. I agree with you.
That's what I thought.
Hurricane Michael.
You're talking about the one that like tore off the gate at work and that sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Or
Or
maybe-
a former place of employment.
Yeah. My
I don't
neighbor
know.
was building. My neighbor behind us was building a pool, so he had a giant dirt hole, and my
Oh.
entire back fence, big old wooden
Oh.
fence, flew right into his pool.
Okay. Hurricanes.
Hurricanes. I love
Yes.
hurricane season. It's just like earthquakes. I've got like 4 or 5 apps, but now I don't. With this new house that we've got, I don't. There's too many oak trees.
Those will.
I'm
Your day real
confident,
nice.
confident in my property, or I'm in a place that's not mine, I love huge catastrophic hurricanes.
That's a little sick, but I like thunderstorms and rain and lightning and that sort of thing. So being born and raised in Florida, I get used to hurricanes. I like hurricanes, but you want to be safe. You want to protect yourself. You want to go get gas. You want to get water. You want to do those type of things. But
yeah,
interesting.
All right, good talk. Sure.
All right. Well, you boys got anything else?
No.
Brilliant. Thank you all for listening to the Laid Off Lads podcast. This has been episode 17. We greatly appreciate everybody sticking with us and continuing to send us stuff and be a part of this podcast. We highly encourage you that if there's anything you want to hear us talk about topic-wise, conversation-wise, any point, just send it to us on any platform, Instagram, Facebook, laidofflads.com. Our email, laidofflads@gmail.com, and we will happily talk about it on an upcoming pod. Thank you for all those that have already put in stuff and has sent us stuff that we've covered in episodes past. We are still a very small-time pod, but we thoroughly enjoy doing this, and hopefully you enjoyed listening to us when we drop new episodes. Mm-hmm. So thank you. Mm-hmm. Talk to you all next week.
Thanks for listening to the Laid Off Lads podcast. And if you're hiring, well, you know where to find us.